Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
So, that's good. This is just for the sake of transparency, just to let you guys know. This in itself is a Bandai Namco game. This in itself is a show that I am a fan of, but it has nothing to do with the situation. It's already really early in the morning. I just woke up, and I'm just gonna make my point clear, and I'm gonna try to do it as short and concise as I believe it should be. Even if only one person hears this, even if no one hears this. I just want to make it perfectly clear where I stand. I decided to sleep on it by the confidence of my mod, who's currently sitting in the room. And I've decided that it's better said than left to fester and left to grow. And I'm just gonna be as open as I want to be, and I will do it as calmly as possible. As of this point, as we speak now, and in the foreseeable future, unless situations happen to change or improve for the better, I will not participate in either buying any games from NetherRealm Studios, Bandai Namco, or Capcom in the fighting game space. I cannot say that I make this message with a unburdened heart, but I do make this message with a saddened heart. Because as far as I understand, as far as I am aware, neither of the three games, in my thorough opinion, have done anything to show that I can trust them as far as I can throw them. I can't see them the same way anymore. I can't even look at them in the most passive of eyes before. I can praise gameplay as much as I want to. But when you consider all the factors in account, you can't just ignore something that is either hidden or plainly in your face. I can't say that I am a man of very intelligent means. I have been told I have a great opinion. I am told that I have excellent thoughts and am willing to hold a conversation. But I am just as I am. I am to myself as honest as I should be. And to all my friends, I am as honest as I need to be. And to anyone that watches this, be it now or in the future, I will be as honest as I need to be. I can't support Tekken, Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat in the state that it is right now, nor in any state in the future, unless situations change and lessons are learned. I can't be the one to say that they won't improve. I can't be the one to say that they will not improve. I cannot be the one to say that in order for a lesson to be learned, jobs must be lost. I cannot be the one to say that in order for a lesson to be learned, some bad apples must be removed. Because one bad apple spoils the bunch. And it is very obvious at this point that this is just where they're heading. And I am sad. Very sad. I may not be crying, but it's more of a disappointment rather than me being sad enough to cry. Now, once again, I just want to make it clear that I had to sleep on this before I got up. I took a step outside. It's a very cold morning. And it opened my eyes a little bit. And a comment from a YouTube video I saw before did remind me that eventually this conversation would have to come up. So, allow me to borrow your ears for a certain amount of time, and I will be as honest as I can. I apologize for the slow speech. I'm still getting up, so bear with me here, because I'm trying my best not to waste your time. In June of 2023, Street Fighter 6 came out to much praise from the fighting game audience, as it will. They said the gameplay was good. They say the extra mode was good. They said the story was tolerable, if not a little bit lackluster. But then again, that's not new. But then came the hub. Then there came the giant battle hub. And in that battle hub lied a shop. And in that shop lied a battle pass. And in that battle pass, next to it, or not too far from it, lied a premium currency. Now, for those that don't understand why I'm saying it in this way, it's because usually when you see a telltale like a battle pass, you try not to fear for the worst until you then see it with your own eyes. Then it becomes the sad reality. Because once you see it, it then becomes a problem. Now, as far as I've understood, the premium currency wasn't used automatically. or I could be mistaken, it may have been used. But as far as I've understood, there were two things at the time that needed the premium currency. And that was the Battle Pass first, which is under your discretion to buy. And then the second became secondary skins. Now, as far as I've understood, the skins were the equivalent of $7, but there was no $7 option in the premium currency. In fact, the higher option, I believe, was somewhere in the $10 to $15 range. I believe it was the former. I'll address that. In either case, it is very, very, very distrusting of you to put your skin prices behind a currency, behind a price that has no exact number. And I believe that they were thoroughly aware of what they were doing. And that in turn makes me distrust them. I will not participate in anything where I am called the fool. I will not participate in anything where I am perceived as someone who does not think of his transactions. I will not take place in whatever Street Fighter 6 has to offer. I may not take place in whatever they have to offer. But for the foreseeable future, unless situations improve, I may or will not participate in playing the game, but only at a friend's house. I will only play the game for its gameplay. I will not participate in any microtransaction buying. I don't want any of my friends to have to participate in it because the cost for them was already high enough, and it only increases as more skins come out. I do not encourage people being fooled from the start. I am not encouraging people to not buy what they want. I just want you to be aware of what they're doing. Mortal Kombat 1 came out on September of 2023. Now, I'm sure because of all of the negative revelations that NetherRealm has been receiving in the past few months, I do not need to explain what NetherRealm is doing, why WB Games should not be trusted, and the lengths to which you should hold your developers accountable. However, I will only give the credit to them because much like Street Fighter 6, the store was there. And their intentions were there. People decided to rebel and ban, or in this case, rebel against being filched out for paying for more animations. I can't say the most for everyone else. I can't say the least I can't say the least for the rest of everyone else. But I can say that for most of them, most did not like it. Warner Brothers or NetherRealm decided to respond. And all they did was that they made, instead of each one costing 12, I believe now 4 cost 12. I believe they have the same issue with skins being very uncreative. So much where they're charging them. And that is a situation for them to deal with. That is a situation that I will not personally participate on my own. I may go to a friend's house and play the game because all I support on it is the gameplay. That's all I support. Because I myself, much like I had stated in the beginning, I will not purchase them. I would not participate in buying these 2 companies that I've named so far in a fighting game franchise reason. Because having that lack of trust immediately makes me aware that they are willing to do whatever they can to raise their bottom dollar. Now, am I surprised that from these 2 developers has happened? No. But am I disappointed and wish better? Yes. I do wish better, but I can't promise that I would change my opinion at any point, because any game that follows would make me cautious enough to make me look for such an occurrence. And the fact that 2 of the games that I've named so far have had their stores in the open, have made their intentions clear, has made my eyes open to the reality of the situation for both of them. And so as I stand here, I will play the game with friends, and I will encourage them to not participate. Because I myself will not participate. But in these 2 cases, at least their intentions were known from the very beginning. Tekken 8 came out in January of this year, and the game was given praise. The game was called Potential Fighting Game of the Year, and that's not saying a lot. Good gameplay, decent balancing, hopeful for what I've heard. Very good, captivating gameplay. Decent graphics, but that's just, that's just par for the course in a game that's made by a AAA company. A lot of people expect them to use higher technology. And it was that way. Everyone was happy. Everyone was playing the game. Everyone had condemned Mortal Kombat 1 for their developers not speaking up on any issues that they've had with the game, any bugs they've had with the game so far. And everyone was enjoying Tekken 8. Now, I, as a regular person, hoped that Tekken would avoid the fate of the other two. But little did I know that I gave them too much credit. That not only did they release a store, they released a store 1 month after the game had come out, under the nose of their reviewers. Sorry, not under the nose, over the heads of the reviewers. A crucial point being hidden away, which in turn, I imagine, would have changed a lot of reviews. Had there been known that there was a Tekken shop. And not just that, but it's a shop that is most likely gonna hide a lot away from one of their most used modes in the customization center, by possibly taxing the goods that would usually be in that center, unlockable usually by fight money, that can only now be purchased with a premium currency. And I feared the worst, and the second I saw it, in my head, I got very angry, or at least very irritated, that I thought maybe one company I thought I could trust, I couldn't trust. And I wanted to say that Tekken 8 had a chance. It could have just been a game. It could have just been the usual AAA fighting game with a yearly pass for characters, as it's just begun to be as it is with AAA fighters, and there being 4 fighters a year, which I myself don't support. I'm usually a fan of release them as you have them, but don't make me pay for them. Don't make me pay for them before, just sort of release them to the public as you finish them. Because you owe the public that buys your game the time and the respect that they at least deserve from buying the game. That's what I had thought at first. But then after conversations with a couple of friends of mine, including the gentleman in my chat right now, it sort of made me realize that we set it on ourselves because we were so desperate for anything that we were willing to buy skins, that we were willing to buy characters. But this is the only time where I'll give Street Fighter any credit. In Street Fighter V, you could purchase them with fight money. That I won't deny. There were some characters that you could purchase with fight money, or most you could, from going down the list. And I tolerated it because all the characters you could get from just playing the game. And that's how I wished it would have been. But now I can't say that I had hope at first. Trying not to repeat myself here. I'm trying not to say that there was a little bit of hope, that there was a little bit of just that feeling of just hanging on and just saying, don't worry, Tekken 8 will be fine. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They wouldn't do it now. It's way too late. Oh, there's a possibility of a chance that maybe buying this game wouldn't be so bad. And then you see the shop. And then you see the premium currency. And then you see that the lowest amount that you can buy in that shop is $5. And every costume costs the equivalent of $4. Leaving only 100 left. And the most that you can buy for right now, with that measly $50, are fireworks. Not even unlimited fireworks. 10 of them. Of a certain color. Something that could have been a free emote in their lobby. They're selling to you for 50 cents. To say I was disappointed would be an understatement. To say I was mad would be very overstated. To say I was disappointed is as accurate as it gets. Because of all the things, of all the situations right now where gaming is headed, where a lot of places right now were losing developers, and a lot of places right now were not making that much money, and most places are trying to develop a live service game, and a lot of them have to be sunsetted because they don't make enough money. And that leads the publisher to losing money. Of all things, to set a precedent that fighting games from now on in the AAA circuit, potentially, may or may not have a shop. May or may not have a premium currency. May or may not try to bleed you dry, even though you have paid full price for those games. Plus whatever price you have to buy the character pass if you buy it early, or the later costs of you having to buy a character, or any character that you're interested in. I don't see much benefiting from this future. Because for as much as we can preach that we shouldn't do it, is a whole other group of people that you have to convince. And it is impossible. It is at an immeasurable state, or an immeasurable bounty that you have to convince people to not buy something. And so today I'm here just to deliver not what is a state of abandon, but more of a cry for help. Right now, we as fighting game players are in the worst of times. The point at which all your games are trying to bleed you dry, bit by bit by bit. Where all of them want extra money from you, even though you've already paid for the game. Where you have rewarded them for their good design and their nice character play, or their very either consistent or new form of play. And you've gifted them with dedication and saying that you're willing to be there for the long haul, and all they think of you as is a wallet. I couldn't, I can't, and I won't. I can't be the savior of my friends. I can only warn. I can't be the savior of all people. I can only warn. So this is the warning to everyone out here. Whoever chooses to watch this video, whoever chooses to see this video, whoever chooses to listen to this video, even if you have it on in the background, I perfectly understand and I appreciate it. This is just the final statement from me. A lot of them see you as a bank. Most of them don't ever really see you as an individual. Some developers may choose to respond to you in a public forum, probably on a Twitter or an Instagram, or sometimes maybe even Facebook, depending on how old you are. But I ask you, if you would like for this to continue, then just understand the precedent that you set. For if you buy it the way it is now, you're encouraging them in the future to go further. Many things may not be hidden behind a paywall right now, but it's a warning that there can be. It can get worse. It may get worse. And at this rate, I am willing to bet my bottom dollar that it will get worse. It started with Dead or Alive, and then it went to everywhere else. We thought we left the game. That made it worse, and it made it just as bad. I fear for every AAA game, every AAA fighting game from now on, Because that's all they're going to consider it as. A live service game where they are equally willing to bleed you dry with a massive number of extra characters that won't be available when the game is unfinished, because they don't have to promise you a physical version of the game completed. They will only assure you that you'll have those characters for as long as the server is still up. And luckily for all of them, and lucky for all of you guys, your servers have been up, so all of your downloadable content is still there. And in order for them to keep their word, their servers have to keep running. But I fear for the worst. And I fear that they're going to go further. All I ask is, enjoy your game, but just understand what you allow when you encourage them to make such a brash decision, and allow them, nay, encourage them to treat you like a bank. And when you allow them to treat you like a bank, that makes them believe that they have you in their pocket.